All right, you guys. So we have breaking urgent news. They have a suspect in custody in the Charlie Kirk assassination. We're not going to use the words killing or shooting. We're going to use the words assassination because that's exactly and entirely what this is. And before we get into this, I just want to state this. There's a lot of people who throw around words like fascist and like white supremacist and like Nazi at people. They are canonizing people towards violence and taking out somebody for their political opinion, for voicing opposition in a rational debate. Like, this dude was not a politician. This dude was not a lawmaker. This dude was not somebody who had any authority over any other human beings, but he was taken out 100% for his political opinion. And taking out the opposition of your political opinion is one of the key defining traits of fascism. Every fascist leader in history has one common denominator, that they used violence, the threat of violence, or murder to silence their opposition. And that's exactly what happened here with Charlie Kirk. And I don't exactly believe the narrative that's being sold to us by the FBI. I don't believe it. We're going to get into this. We're going to look at this. I never want to tell you guys what to think. You are all intelligent, culpable, rational human beings who can decide what it is that you believe in every situation. What I like to do is I like to present the information. And yes, I'm not completely objective. I'm not completely unbiased. And I will give you guys my personal opinion in situations, right? But I don't want to ever tell you guys what to think. I do want to know what you think, because as much as I will share my opinion with you, and I hope maybe that you're open to hearing it, and maybe you'll say, oh, you know what? I do see some truth and some value in this. This doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And maybe you guys can share what you think and what you see. And between all of our eyes and between all of our beautiful minds, we can come together and we can see glimpses of a bigger truth. I fucking want that. I want to know what you guys think, because you guys, your opinions are just as valid as anything that I will ever say. Okay? I don't want to tell you guys what to think, but I do not believe the narrative that the FBI is selling us. And I'm going to get into why that is. Before I do this, will you guys let me know, is my audio okay? I had a little bit of an audio glitch with my main microphone, and I just want to know if you guys can hear me loud and clear, or if I need to make any adjustments. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. The audio is fine. Awesome. Let's jump into this. I have the news ready to go about this, so we are about to get to that.
Connected to the Charlie Kirk killing of a few days ago. The president just said this on Fox and Friends. I'll read the quote. I think with a high degree of certainty, we have him in custody. Essentially, somebody that was very close to him turned him in. And that happens, the president adds. He goes on to say, the tip stemmed from a minister, Trump says he believes, who passed the tip to a friend who was a U.S. Marshal. And then they involved the father of the suspect. We don't have an identity yet. We don't have a name of this suspect. President Trump himself saying that he learned of it just a few moments before he stepped on set. This is all taking place in the last couple of minutes. As you might imagine, this is a very fluid situation. Seems like the president himself was just briefed on this. There were some details he acknowledged he did not know. But to recap the breaking news, of course, the assassination of Charlie Kirk, the conservative political commentator and organizer, shot in broad daylight on a college campus in Utah a couple of days ago. Video graphic went around the world very quickly. There's been an intensive manhunt for this suspect here. You're seeing the individual on your screen. These are images released by the police yesterday.
I'm seeing comments that I look blurry. I don't look blurry on my screen. Can you guys confirm that there's not something horrific going on that I'm just not seeing? I don't want to make you guys sit through something that's like terrible quality. I I'm also seeing that people are saying not blurry. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. I'm also seeing people saying that he wanted the Epstein files released. Listen, you guys, there's certain stuff that I don't want to say online, but we're going to have to do it, man. We're going to eventually have to get there. Charlie Kirk within the last week had changed a lot of his stances and views on things that probably really pissed certain people off. And we're going to get into that. And some of it really involves Epstein, 100%.
As they try to, they're imploring the public to come forward with help, come forward with tips, with other information about this person. So now we're going to hear, I believe we're going to hear now what President Trump said just a few moments ago.
Before we get into what President Trump said, I really quick want to address a couple things. Doom Lavritria said, brrr, wood chipper. And then 39 or 69 420 ramen. Love you, Doom. I appreciate you. Red Custom Off-Road Shop, thank you so much, brother. Hey, dude, your Frenchie is absolutely gorgeous, man, and I'm loving the red beard. Another red-bearded brother. Big respect to you, man. Yo, would love to meet you someday. I'm just north of you. Or Salem, Portland, Seattle, somewhere up in those abouts. Maybe the Couve, perhaps. Love you, brother. That's a beautiful dog and a beautiful beard. I'm glad you're here with us this morning. Russell Paul Brady, love your content. Make pedophiles afraid again. It's strange you would say that, my friend, because we are wearing the Make Pedophiles Afraid Again hat today. Available at Bunker Branding if anybody is so inclined. It is at my merch shop, the same merch shop of the Unsubscribed podcast, the same merch shop of the Demolition Ranch guys, and it's available right now. There's a link in my bio if you guys want to get a Make Pedophiles Afraid Again hat. Risen, thank you so much. I appreciate you. JS said, JD, I'm glad that this is even on the news here in the Netherlands. The whole world needs to know about this, and we need to all come together. Amen on that, bro, because dead serious. This is a serious act of fascism and brutality, and the world needs to know what's going on over here right now. Red Custom said, thank you for your voice. I love you, brother. So glad to see you. Angie Love wants to know where my sunglasses are from. These are Spies. I usually either wear Spies or I wear Blenders. I really enjoy both brands. I like colorful things mixed with a lot of black. Rachel said, thank you for helping all of us process. Rachel, we're all processing this together, sis. And that's the way that we get through these traumatic type events, is by coming together, by unifying. And I wish that as a world, I wish that as a nation, I wish that as a community of human beings, we could do that instead of focusing on the negative and focusing on our differences, because we have so much more in common that we'll ever have as differences. Melissa Foster, bless you, brother. Bless you too, sister. Thank you so much for being here. One love. Bye, Felicia. Great to see you. Rest in paradise, Charlie Kirk. Prayers to his beautiful family. 1000% agree. Bucket Dealer said, hey, JD, I think you know my old scoutmaster, James Simpson. He was a CO at Powder River Corrections. I could be wrong, but thanks for everything you do. I actually never made it to Powder River. They did not. I was not the type of inmate they wanted there due to me being a gang member. Rachel Strutman, thank you so much, sis. Love you. Big Puffer Fish, ban Susie's Playhouse, please. I don't know what Susie's Playhouse is. Let's screenshot that so I can look into it, because that sounds super sus, and I want to look into that. Damnation Animation said, Steven Crowder's stream just got taken down. Careful what you talk about today. They might bring it down. Thank you for the warning. We are going to be very careful here. Thank you for the warning. I definitely appreciate that. I don't want to lose this community. This community means more to me than you guys will ever know, and I don't want to lose it. So thank you. I appreciate you guys watching my back like that. But Knuckles is in the chat. What's up, my guy? Crazy how YouTube blocks a comment where I show a bit of frustration, but promotes and spreads hatred from the left. I'm sick to my stomach from all this, JD. Much love. We're going to be getting into that as well. And I love you, and thank you for being here, man. Starvo said, hopefully now the Kirk family, along with the American people, can get justice for Charlie. If we're buying the FBI narrative, and we're going to take a look at some of the reasons why I don't. Raging Realist, yo, Trump and the FBI effed up bad with all the people cheering about what happened to Charlie, telling the public who turned in Charlie's shooter just put them in real danger. Now that is a really good point, that it was that was the shooter Tyler Robinson's dad who turned him in. Thank you, Raging Realist, for that, because that's something I hadn't even contemplated yet. Ryan Brennan, I didn't sleep the night that Charlie died. It weighed heavily on me. I held my breath. Free speech shouldn't equal death in America. You know, to kill off your vocal political opposition is the definition of fascism. That is a fascist act by definition. Northern Glacier Corporation, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. The thing that was the most sad is that he had 2 daughters that'll have to grow up without him. Keep up the helpful and awesome vids. I want to address this. Charlie Kirk's wife and his 2 kids were at the event. They were sitting front row. When Charlie was shot, his young daughter was terrified by the sound, and she tried to run towards her dad for safety. Let that fucking sink in for a second. His daughter was terrified by the shot, and she tried to run to her father for safety as he was dying. As he was gushing blood, his daughter ran to him for safety because he was his daughter's safety. I'm sorry, that choked me the fuck up, and it choked me up when I first heard it. Jonathan H., I heard Charles' little girl tried to run to him because the sound of the shot scared her. I hope to God that isn't true. Poor child. Jonathan, it's crazy because I hadn't read your comment, and that's what I just spoke on, and that's what I heard as well. And I hope that it's not true, but I've heard that from a fairly decent source. Master Pool, why do you have sleeves? I can't goon unless you're in a tank. Thank you for lightening the mood, brother. Thank you for lightening the mood. I honestly, I needed a gooning joke. I appreciate that. I hate these sleeves. It's cold. It's cold out, bro. I'm in Oregon. Melissa Foster, Susie's Playhouse will get you banned by their stupid comments. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Thank you guys for enlightening me on that. I appreciate you taking the time to let me know that somebody was doing that. Yeah, found and hidden. No longer here, no longer allowed to comment. You guys are the best. I don't think I have any mods that are awake right now. So thank you guys so much. Starter channel, them taking down streams are just showing that they are afraid of what's being said. Facts. Lucy H., God could not answer my prayer to save Charlie, but he answered my prayer to catch him. God bless you, JD. God is good, even in the worst times, man. Austin Strode, hope you're doing well, JD. Much love. Much love to you, Austin. My good friend, Intellectual Iconoclasm. Lifelong Omega PWG boy got manipulated into I'm a real man doing real work, and they'll all know me. It's school event syndrome, but at that age, well, he was only 22, bro. He was only 22, to my understanding. I could be incorrect on that. I also want to just clarify, I released a video where I said that he was a student there. He was not a student there. He had apparently gotten a scholarship, but I'm being told he wasn't a student, so maybe he fucked that up like the loser that he was. Charles Morton, should we repeal the 8th for chipping purposes? Also, rest in peace, Charlie. I'm disgusted by the depths of my core by people who are celebrating. I absolutely feel that we should have a wood chipper allowance, man. I think we need an amendment. Russ the Lion. There is a person that Charlie debated with in the past. If you look at his Turning Point channel, that looks like he fits the description of the man. Interested to see that. I'm going to be looking for that. Dale Dan Ernie. Hey, raise hell and praise Dale. Hey, I wish this would end and we can all look each other in the eyes and be friends. JD, much love from Casey County, Kentucky. God bless you, brother. And that is my ultimate hope, is that this country can start to heal and we can get back to sanity and kindness and love and start building a country that is a beautiful thing that we can all be proud of. Dylan Beal, keep being you, man. Need more people on the internet with your no nonsense attitude. I appreciate you more than words, brother. Melissa Foster, if you need a moderator, I volunteer as tribute. I think we got Dr. Dre coming in the chat. I really appreciate you, sister. Big love. Archangel Michael George Akbar. My brother is in tricky territory. Brian on at whatever channel had him on a panel. Same as Roma Army. I told them vets, serious stuff. All three are controversial. Yes, she did try to run. Terrible. Be safe. Oof, man. That's bad news, bro. Captain Barb, thanks for the inspiration. I'm clean and just got out of homelessness, now in college for software engineering. Thanks. No, you did that. You did that, sis, and I'm so proud of you. Faye Queen said, prayer for the family. My husband knew the guy and hung with him a few times. Our house is a little shaken, as is ours. As is ours. Sending you guys love. Tori Smith, thank you for the big super. I appreciate that support. That helps so much. We need to heal as a community and remember him for his message of faith. And I agree 1000%. Stephen Palmer, thank you so much for the support. Stephanie Ann, thank you so much. Russell said, let's remember violence only begets violence. And while that is true, I don't know if it's avoidable at this point. Stephen Johnson said the saddest part about everything that has happened is that people are celebrating the man's death. My heart hurts for the way that the world is turning. And I just want to say on that, we're going to jump back into hearing this press conference where Donald Trump explains what's going on. But I just want you guys to know that I have friends online that are exposing every single person they find making videos and comments celebrating this. And exposing them to their community, exposing them to their job, getting them fired. I don't generally lean towards doing that. That seems like the same thing that the left does with their woke bullshit. But I will say this, I fucking understand. I'm not personally going to participate in it, but I understand.
I think with a high degree of certainty, we have him in custody, right? In custody. Everyone did a great job. We worked with the local police, the governor. Everybody did a great job. You know, getting somebody that you start off with absolutely nothing. And we started off with a clip that made him look like an ant that was almost useless. We just saw there was somebody up there. And so much work has been done over the last 2.5 days. You know, it's amazing, actually, when you start off with that and then all of a sudden you get lucky or talent or whatever it is. But yeah, I think we're in great shape.
Lucky or talent. Can we just say that, like, his dad reportedly turned him in? So I would lean more towards somebody did the right thing rather than luck or talent. Yeah, Newt, you are fucking gone. Fuck everything you're about. Thank you guys for alerting me to the troll in the chat. Fuck that shit. Yeah, it was his dad that turned him in. So how is he taking credit for that? Other than them, I mean, like, so let's be real. They did put out the photos of him, but that's like bottom of the barrel fucking policing there. You know what I'm saying? Like they had pictures, so they released the pictures, and then dude's own dad turned him in.
He's in custody.
That was President Trump just a few moments ago on Fox and Friends. He's here in New York City, appearing in studio just across the street, saying with a high degree of certainty, quoting him, that they have the suspect in custody, but we don't know who this person is. We believe at 9 o'clock Eastern time, so about 45 minutes from now, authorities in Utah will hold a news conference. Let's bring in now MSNBC investigative correspondent Mark Santia. Mark, thank you for rushing back to set. This is obviously a breaking story. Just a few moments ago, the president said this. Is there anything else we've learned as to what happened?
No, right now, I mean, this is a major development. For the president to say, quote, we have him, he's in custody. Obviously, major development. We're working the phones right now, along with my colleague, Tom Winter, Jonathan Dienst, reaching out. We know, as you said, Jonathan, there's a 9 o'clock press conference. We were told about a 9 o'clock press conference in Utah. And then shortly after, the president made these statements again, quote, we have him. He's in custody. President also said about the talk.
Somebody just brought something up that I want to speak on. Does the dad get the reward money? I don't know. I don't know. So I've already seen online this morning people saying that the dad turned him in just for the money. I don't believe that. From the report that I have, and I will say this isn't confirmed, but I will say that from what I have heard, unconfirmed, I've heard that the dad is ex-law enforcement. And it would make sense to me if my son did some horrific fucking act of domestic terrorism. I love my son. If my son did something like that, I can't even imagine the emotions that I would go through and what I would do. I honestly can't say what I would do if my son did something this horrific. I know, and I've told my son from the very start that if he ever did some sort of a sex offense or anything like that, that I would beat his ass and drag him to the station myself. I'm pretty sure that I would have to do the same thing that this dad did in this situation. And a lot of people are saying that the dad is not is a bad dad for this. A lot of people are saying that the dad did good for this. What do you guys think? I want to know what your guys' opinion is. Let me know in the chat what you guys think about the dad turning in his son on this. Steven said the saddest part about everything that has happened is people are celebrating the man's death. Yes, we read that. Mig said, JD, I can respect that you use your platform to pray for Charlie. Let's please keep his family and our thoughts and prayers. Keep up the good work, JD. And his family and our nation have been in my prayers every prayer since then. Non-toxic PNW, how could I apply to mod for you? I don't choose my mods. My mods choose my mods to see who they actually want to work with. And Dr. Dre Light has announced he is on the way. They would be the ones to speak to. Dominar said, there is no right way to grieve. There's only your way. Jill S. Cohen, Dominar, very to the point, very poignant. Thank you so much. Jonathan said, ban It's Newt time. She'll get you banned. And I absolutely banned her. Thank you guys for putting me on game on that. I appreciate you. Tyler's family is middle class. Rock star dad. He was a real dad. He made his son own up to his mistake. And that's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about it. Now, I would be conflicted if it was my son who did something that horrific. I would be conflicted. But in the end, you have to take accountability for your actions. Great old one. Good morning, JD. I never heard of Charlie Kirk before, but I cried when I heard what happened. Rest in peace. And that is a very human, normal, and decent, kind reaction. Thank you, sir. JJ said, we unite by correcting all the misquoted garbage, pointing Charlie as someone he was not. Facts. The man who initiated the TPU Black Leadership Summit is not a racist. Also facts. And I have a video coming out today exposing a bunch of the people who have been celebrating his death online and also debunking their arguments about him being racist, about him being transphobic, about him being homophobic. The man could disagree with your lifestyle and still show you love and human kindness. It's crazy that the left can watch him disagree with people and show them love, and they can't do the same. Dodka Vincent. JD, I'd love to privately talk to you. I'll give you my phone number. I really need to chat with you a minute. All respect. Please don't stop doing what you're doing. Dakota, hit me up on Instagram, sir. Furion, God bless you, JD. I stand with you for Wood Chipper 2028. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. I stand with you. Rest in peace, Charlie. Brandon Fleming. Chase Hughes put out a video on this whole situation, and he's saying a lot of stuff that makes sense. I disagree with a lot, but none of you are my enemy. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Wood Chipper Tribe for life. And Brandon, I love you. And I just want to say I don't agree with everything that Charlie Kirk has said in the past. And a lot of people have asked me, well, what did you disagree with Charlie Kirk on? I disagree vehemently that women or children who were raped and become pregnant should have to carry their abuser's child to term. Also, with the laws in the vast majority of states, even if the father is a rapist, he still has 50-50 parenting rights, which allows that rapist access to not only the child's life, but to the mother's life for the next 18 years. And I disagree with him on that. And I would have debated the man on that. And I disagree with him, but I don't disrespect the man. I understand that we have different views. His view on abortion is very black and white, and that comes from his belief from the Bible. I believe that there's grace and mercy for victims in situations like that, and that they shouldn't be further subjected to the person who victimized them. But, that's something that we could have debated and agreed to disagree with if we needed to. So now you've turned cancel culture now. One car. I've literally just explained that I'm not going out and exposing these people to their jobs, trying to get them fired. I don't know what you didn't understand about that. Is your comprehension okay? Maybe it's just early for you. Maybe you should have a little coffee, Bubba. Big Sexy, what up, homie? Hey, JD, love your stuff, man. My dad's been clean for 5 years, and I'm super proud of him. Wood chipper army for life. Rest in peace, Charlie. Rest in peace, Charlie. David Joseph, what's up, my brother? Love the hat. I bet the MAGAs get disappointed when they see it and say that you've got the wrong hat on. I say you got the right hat on. And initially when I made this hat, I was like, I'm going to steal that and make it dope. You know what I'm saying? The thing is that most people that I've encountered that are wearing the MAGA hat are like, dude, that's fucking dope. Most of them have been highly supportive of it, because until the Epstein thing, it really felt like Trump was kind of on board with protecting kids. So the Nickinator, the amount of hatred I've seen in the past few days have made me physically ill. I'm taking a hard stance on disassociating with those who are happy with this. The world is ugly enough as it is. I want to let you guys know that I have blocked so many people that I've known in real life for years, for celebrating this. Now, if they're saying, hey, I didn't agree with Charlie Kirk, no problems, no issues. If they're saying, like, if they're not saying anything about it, no problems, no issues. You're not responsible to mourn for somebody you didn't know that you disagreed with, and you're allowed to disagree with people. The people celebrating this are disgusting, and I don't want them in my sphere. Pamela said he confessed to his dad. His dad is a former sheriff. Facts. That's my understanding. Fanatic said the guy in the white hat gave the actual sign to take the shot. And that's part of what doesn't make sense to me. Also, the trajectory of the shot doesn't seem like it came from the roof. And also, if you look closely at the video and you zoom in on the video of what they're saying is this guy getting off the roof, he had a bag with him that looked to be about this big. You guys ever carried a 30-06 rifle? It's not easily breakdownable. It couldn't have been in his pants, because when he landed off that 10-foot jump, his knees went to a full bend. And that gun was not in that bag. Did they find the gun on the roof? No, they did not find the gun on the roof. They found the gun in the fucking woods. So if he was the shooter, he had to have dropped the gun to an accomplice who left with the gun, or somebody else took that fucking shot from a trajectory that actually makes sense, and they got away with the gun. This dude in the video they show, if this dude that they have in custody is the dude that was on that roof, he's not the one who took the shot. Whoever was on that roof is not the one who took the shot, unless he dumped the gun off to the side and had an accomplice. Also, the dude, the old guy who was yelling that he did it in the crowd to distract long enough for somebody to get away, I'm highly suspect that that person was intimately involved And I don't think this was a one-man show. You'll never convince me this was a one-man show. Everyone should have woken up after Butler. The guy didn't jump off the roof with the rifle, but they found it in the woods. How? Exactly, my man. Starter Channel said they offered the biggest voice who was keeping the extreme right at bay, and now the moderates have shifted more right. Even my centrist friends moved right. I have friends that were straight up hardcore Democrats until this happened, who were like, I can no longer align myself with this. And they have absolutely canonized people farther right. They have given the right the biggest martyr they could have ever asked for. And this is not something that's going, like, I don't know what the fuck these idiots are celebrating, homie. I don't know what they're celebrating. Allison Nunley, love you, sis. Hey, buddy, glad I caught a live. I appreciate you and Jason's content and updates. And kick a little cash when I can. By the way, I DM you a Frenchie question. Yeah. DM me a Frenchie question. Hit me up on Insta. I love talking about Frenchies. Beyond Dre said, I am saddened to see the state of our society nowadays as empathy for humanity has been replaced with needs to clicks and views. It's disgusting. 1000% agree, family. 1000% agree. Let's get back into this for a minute.
About the great work that's been done over the last several hours, the last couple of days. At this point, we're just waiting to hear. This is something that is very, very fluid at this time. We knew they were close. We knew they had, Jonathan, 7,000 tips, pieces of digital evidence. They were following several leads. So we knew, just talking to law enforcement sources and sources familiar with this investigation, we knew they were on it. We knew they were tracking down several leads. And
7,000 tips is crazy. And something that, I've worked with law enforcement numerous times on bringing in child predators. And something that law enforcement has told me that I found really interesting is that anytime they ask for help with something like this, they will get flooded with a shitload of fake tips trying to throw law enforcement off actually catching the person, which seems wild to me, to spend your time in a situation like this trying to put them on the wrong scent.
You just heard from the president. He said, again, quote, we have him.
Yeah, I'm following along with the president's appearance. He says he hopes the suspect gets the death penalty. Obviously, you need a trial and conviction before that. He's moved on to other topics right now, including the nickname of the Washington Commanders football team, but we'll bring it to you if he says anything else. But to recap, just a few moments ago, President Trump, in a media appearance, said that a suspect in custody, no identity yet, certainly no sense of motive just yet. But it appears Ken Delanian is joining us now, MSNBC Justice and Intelligence correspondent. So, Ken, I'll come to you with this. It appears that the decision by the law enforcement in Utah to go public with these images is paid off. We carried that news conference live on our air yesterday. About 24 hours ago, the FBI in Utah said they weren't going to do that just yet, that they didn't think they needed to take that step. Well, they developed better images. We're seeing them here. They released them. They put out some video of the suspect both arriving and then fleeing the school after the shooting. And now,
you guys, I want to clarify something that just popped up for me. And I think this is wildly important. I think you guys will find it really interesting. We now have the actual statements that were made on the bullets, the shell casings. Bullets is a misnomer on these shell casings. And I want to make this right because I said it was unconfirmed, but I did a video yesterday about was the shooter trans Tifa. And in that video, I said that there were early reports, and there were early reports that it was Antifa messaging and that it was trans LGBTQ messaging. And there is a certain element of that, but it's super weird. And I want to make sure that I clarify for those of you who watched that video. One bullet read, "Hey, fascist, catch." So that could be considered an alignment with an Antifa statement. And this is what I'm talking about. "Hey, fascist, catch," written on the shell casing that was used in one of the most fascist actions our country has seen in its history. This dude was just a debater. He just came in, not a lawmaker, not a politician. All he did was he came in and he just gave people an open forum to discuss ideas with him. And they said he was a fascist. They said he was a racist. They said he was a Nazi. They said he was a white supremacist. But he would allow you to speak. He would listen to you. And then he would return his ideas. And he would do it on college campuses. Now, let me tell you this. A college campus is supposed to be about ideas and education. It's not supposed to be an echo chamber for liberal fucking nonsense. It's not supposed to be some pussy ass safe space. A college campus should be a place where you learn ideas and how to think critically for yourself, not be indoctrinated and trained to accept narratives that don't make sense in fucking reality. For them to silence him through assassination is one of the most fascist actions that we have had in this fucking country. I want to give a huge shout out to Dr. Dre Light. I love you, brother. Thank you so much for coming in here in Modern. I know this is a big ass fucking live right now, and I know that you're in here swinging, bro. Thank you so much for coming in so early, man. I appreciate you, and I love you, big dog. Another said, "Oh, Bella Ciao, Ciao, Ciao," which could be a reference to Bella Ciao, an Italian song dedicated to those who fought against fascism in World War II. So, look, I think that we've got the whole that this dude had Antifa leanings, because this is Antifa dog whistles. Now, here's where I think that I was, the reports that we got was a little bit off base, because there wasn't actually LGBTQ rhetoric so much as the dude wrote on the third shell casing, "If you're reading this, you are gay, LMAO." He took the time to write, "If you're reading this, you are gay, LMAO," on one of the shell casings. That is fucking wild, dog. That is fucking wild. That he would be making jokes and levity and trolling in this situation is just fucking weirdo behavior. I don't get it. Brickhouse said, "I can't imagine having to hand your son of 22 years over to the authorities when they already publicly said they'll be pursuing the death penalty." That's real as fuck, man. I can't, as a father, it's so hard to wrap my head around. Enzo Matrix said, "It's been reported that the shooter, Tyler Robinson, is a registered nonpartisan, and both of his parents are registered Republicans." Well, let me explain this, because clearly he's gone down this left pipeline, just from what we read on the shell casings, to think that Charlie Kirk was a Nazi and a fascist. Clearly, he may have been registered as a nonpartisan, but a lot of the times, and I don't know if you're a parent, Enzo, but when you have a kid, during periods of their life, they rebel against what the parents want, because it's part of creating your own identity is separating yourself from your parental entities. So if somebody is parents are staunch Christians, oftentimes they will go atheist. If somebody's parents are staunch Republicans, oftentimes they'll go liberal. And then once they find themselves, and it's less of a rebellion, an act of rebellion, and they actually find who they really are, then that's when they really start to identify as who they really are. So I think it's pretty obvious where this dude's head was leaning at from what was written on the shell casings. Ozark, what's up, man? Loving your son is right, but allowing him to do wrong is also not right. Love does not overpower the obligation to do the right thing. He's a good dad. Ozark, well spoken, man. Love you, brother. Dalton said, "Dad turning his son in seems like him taking responsibility for his family." Absolutely. We have to police our own. Plasma Owl said, People who cried when the attempt on Trump's life missed and cheered when they got Charlie are why I'm pushing my savings plan for my gun from next month to the next paycheck. And, you know, they've really turned a lot of people to the point where they're concerned for their safety. Not only have they turned people more far right, Charlie Kirk was fucking kind of moderate, bro. He was a kind of moderate. He was the dam that was holding a lot of people from going really far right. And they destroyed that dam. And at the same time, they just let everybody know, yes, we are willing to violently kill you for your thought process, for what you believe. So a lot of people, the next wave is going to be fucking crazy, dog. They're gonna regret this when they see the actual consequences. As someone who's not right and not left, I can see this shit coming, dog. Nick Fuentes is going to look moderate compared to the next person who steps into Charlie Kirk's seat, bro. That boy said, should people be celebrating his death, be charged with hate speech or something like that? Because it definitely feels like that, or something like that. I don't believe that. I just don't want to see it. I think that they, honestly, I wouldn't think they should be charged with hate speech. I think they should be put in for a mental health evaluation. And I think that we need asylums again. I will say that. Maddie McFatface, love the PFP, bro. I reached out on one of your streams a while back, filed as a nonprofit in Florida, Sober Anglers FC, just trying to do some good in this dark world. Is there any way I can contact you for support at these sad times? Hit me up on Insta, brother. Love what you're doing, man. Comrade Chewy said, rest in peace, Charlie. I'm grateful the killer has been caught, but in all honesty, it feels off that they caught him this easily. He was not working alone. I feel like somebody may have paid him off. I believe that if he was the one who was involved, I believe he was not working alone. And I think we can verifiably prove that. I think there's evidence to prove that, bro. Chris the Guy, should there be consequences for people making fun of Charlie Kirk's death? Legally speaking, the amount of normal people then I've seen go crazy is sick. You know, like I said, I think they should be referred for mental health evaluations to see if they are a danger to themselves or others, because they seem like they could be a danger to themselves or others. I don't think that we should be infringing on constitutional rights at any point in time. No matter how much we disagree with people, I don't think that we should step on their First Amendment rights, but I do think that they should be referred to be checked to see if they're a danger, because they seem like they might as well fucking be. You know what I'm saying? Oilers PF. Hey, JD, I'm from Canada. I'm 17 years old, and I've even following your videos for a good while now. Welcome, and I love you, brother. Hell yeah, glad to have you here. You've helped me a lot. Jesus loves you and is proud of you, brother. Jesus loves you too, man. Welcome. Glad to have you here, bro. Raziel said, I think my family knew about this ahead of time. I think his family knew about this ahead of time and didn't take it seriously. Mental illness is a real thing. Some people need to take it seriously. And that, I think, goes along with the people that are celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. I think we need to do some serious work on mental health in this country. That's what I think needs to happen, because there's something fucky going on with people these days. Death Silence. Sounds like Utah won't have to apply for a suppressor. His mind will be blown. Not sure what you mean by that. LB Weaver. When and why would a victim notify the perp that he has a child with her? That makes no sense. When would a victim notify the perp that he has a child with her? Well, that would come out in the court case. That makes no sense to me. What was Charlie talking about? Charlie Kirk was saying that even if a woman or a child is raped, and he said even if it was a 10 or 12-year-old child that was raped and became pregnant, that they shouldn't have access to an abortion, because in his opinion, abortion is wrong. And that's his beliefs based on his religion. I don't believe that that's a compassionate thing. I don't believe that God would expect for a woman or a child to carry the product of a violent rape or abuse like that. And I would have debated the man on it respectfully. The lone wolf. Look USA, look West, look UK, look Europe invaded. Charlie talked the truth. Pedophiles, etc., are let loose. If you're not in LGBTQ or shit, you are a hater. If you love God, you are a hater. If you hate Islam, same. And there is a lot of truth to that. There is a lot of truth to that. Angelina, what is up? How are you, sis? Mad love from New York City. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. You've taught me so much. Thank you for your voice. Have a blessed day. Sister, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you and I love you. Error said, many people who were celebrating Charlie Kirk's death have been fired from their jobs and have had their social media accounts banned. It sickens me that people are celebrating a man being assassinated. It sickens me to death. And while I'm not going to go out and do it myself because I don't fuck with cancel culture, I don't think people should be canceled. I see it happening and I'm like, oh no, the consequences of your own actions are biting you in the ass. You came out and celebrated a man being assassinated for having differing opinions with you, and then you lost your whole shit over it. Oh no. But they're still alive and they can fix that and they can learn from the consequences of their actions now. It's a lot different than shooting somebody in the fucking neck in front of their fucking wife and kids and thousands of people, you know? Bye, Felicia. I heard the shooter was on Discord talking about this. I would not be surprised. And I'm sure a lot more is going to be revealed. 1,000. Rick Robbins, as a maggot, I wear both at the same time. We agree with JD. Love you, homie. Appreciate you. That's what's up. Stefan Mock, thank you for the support. Navy Assassin, thank you for the support. Epic Face, I thought that from the start, the old man was causing a distraction to allow the shooter to get away. That's what makes sense to me. If it's not Omar Valdez, then where is Omar? Chris Kane. I think we're going to be looking into that a whole lot more because I do not believe that if this dude was involved, that he was the only one involved. Dominic Powers, love you, brother. Thank you, JD, for covering this. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. I agree that his dad did the right thing. I hope Charlie's family are helped throughout this whole ordeal. One love to all. Hey, and please, and I guarantee you, I could say with 1,000% certainty that Charlie would be asking right now for everybody to pray for his family. So if you are somebody who prays, if you are somebody who is compassionate to Charlie and to his family, please keep them in your prayers. Tima, thank you, brother, for giving a good platform towards everything that you do. God bless you, and may the Lord show you peace and comfort and mercy. God bless you too, brother. I appreciate you more than I can say. Tony Smiley, watch the press conference ended an hour ago. Yes, they did have a press conference. We will be taking a look at that. Northern Glacier Corporation. I'm just going to say something real fast, not attempting to be political, but I saw a clip of the left side Congress members refusing to give Charlie Kirk a moment of silence. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Northern Glacier Corporation, we will discuss that real quick. They allowed the moment of silence, but when they asked for a prayer to be said for Charlie Kirk and his family and our nation, that's when the Democrats exploded. They were cool with the moment of silence. They were not cool with the prayer. Now, let me just tell you, they were protesting this and getting loud and rowdy. And I could hear Jasmine Crockett over everybody else there. If you go watch the video, you can hear Jasmine Crockett over everybody else there, screaming and yelling, which was not shocking. I'm not a huge Jasmine Crockett fan, you guys. Let me just say that. So you can take that however you need to. I don't like the way that she conducts herself. I don't think she's professional, and I don't think that she is respectful of the position that she is given by her constituents. But they're on the basis of separation of church and state. they were saying you can't do a prayer, which the Supreme Court has ruled on multiple times historically and as recently as 2018 that Congress absolutely can pray. They just can't make it like a denominational prayer. So to say a prayer for Charlie Kirk and his family would have been the compassionate and right thing to do. They gave the moment of silence. They protested the prayer. It was super unclassy. And I think it goes to show how uneducated they are about the separation of church and state and the own laws that they're supposed to be a part of. It's crazy. NM, bro, I love you. I think those kids are just tools. Someone is paying to make them think this way, follow the money. They want us fighting. And I agree with that 1000%. And my video that I'm going to be releasing today about the people celebrating Charlie Kirk's death is going to be it's a clear indictment of the people who instigated this type of thinking, who instigated Charlie actually being killed. And I think it's going to be very eye-opening for a lot of people. Heathman Gaming, crazy how some think he had crazy takes when he just believed in God, wanted people to have families, to talk to your enemies and grow so one day we can find peace outside of conflict and American. And here's the thing, when discourse dies, that's the birth of violence. When you fail to be able to communicate with words, that's when people take up arms. And this man was the one who was going out and opening a platform of conversation about things with the opposing side from what he was on. And they hated him for it. They called it hate speech. There's a difference between hate speech and speech that you hate. But these people have been indoctrinated to believe that if somebody disagrees with them, that they're hateful, they're a Nazi, they're a fascist. And the people who've put this into people's minds have driven these people to fucking violence. Jonathan H., we should also pray for everyone in the crowd. Absolutely. No doubt some of them will develop PTSD from this. No one should ever have had to have witnessed that. And I have a friend who was going to that rally, but he ended up getting an opportunity to go to New York City. He's another large influencer. He's very MAGA. And he was going to be there, and he was so glad that he didn't have to witness that. Imagine the trauma of being in that crowd. It's horrible. We have two very dark days in our country's history now. 9/10 and 9/11 are two of the darkest days in this country's history. And it's horrific. Theodore Wester, I'm incredibly disillusioned. I feel I can't express my opinions without alienating and losing my family. What do I even do? As a foster child, family is incredibly important to me. Bless you, JD. And, you know, that's the craziest thing, is that these people really want people who disagree politically to disown their families. And it's not from both sides that that's coming from. I'm not left or right, but the right isn't telling you if your family is left, you need to disown them. That's a very left thing. I'm sorry that you're in that situation, and I hope that you find some sort of middle ground with them, but middle ground doesn't seem to be what people on the left are seeking anymore. Seems like they're seeking violence. Non-toxic PNW, I hit you up on Insta trying to put you on game. I appreciate you, and I'll go look for that. Do you have the same name on Insta, brother? Josh Nettles. I'm a big fan, JD. I don't have fans, dude. I'm just a dumbass dude with internet connection. We can be friends, though, because I love you and I appreciate you. But all the hate and people I've seen celebrating this man's death hurts my heart. 1000% the same, brother. 1000% the same. I want to take a break from this, and I want to jump back into seeing what's going on. Pamela Smallman said, I call BS on the shell casings. If there was only one shot, how are there multiple shell casings? All of this makes no sense. So the gun would hold 4 bullets. 4 bullets. And one of the shell casings was spent. The other were still in the gun. I don't know if they retrieved the spent shell casing, but I know that they retrieved the ones that were in the supposed, if you believe the FBI, that those were the ones that we read the messages for, were in the actual gun, the 30-06 rifle. So we are going to jump back in here for a minute because I do want to see what's going on.
These fairly high resolution images in the stairwell captured, I believe, by a campus security camera. These perhaps is what helped. Ken, what more do we know?
Yeah, we're just working the phones, as Mark said right now, trying to understand what the president is saying. The images may have helped, Jonathan, or it could have been something entirely different. For example, the suspect could have decided to confess or turn himself in. We just don't know at this moment. Last night, it really appeared that they were stymied. I mean, they waited for hours to hold a news conference. And then when they did, they said very little and essentially started reciting how many interviews they had done and how many teams were working on the case, which when law enforcement starts talking about that, you kind of suggest they really don't have very much. And the head of Utah's public safety told NBC's Morgan Chesky last night that they had no idea who this person is or where this person was last night. Could have been hundreds of miles away from Utah, could have been close. They had no idea. So it really suggests that something dramatic happened overnight. It's possible someone identified this person from the photos, although the photos, the resolution on the face was not terrific. Obviously not good enough for the FBI to make a facial recognition match. Because again, very clear last night, they did not know, they did not have an identity of the suspect.
Like, it's crazy to me that this shit is that grainy. It really is crazy to me that this shit is that grainy. I want to jump over to Fox News real quick. So we're going to be jumping from MSNBC over to Fox News real quick, who are currently live. And I want to see, this looks really interesting to me. So we're going to jump over here.
16 verses 13 through 14. Be alert, stand firm in the faith, be courageous, be strong, and do everything in love. This verse summarizes what we all should be more of, loving one another. Our generation has the potential to be a force for good, but it's up to us to make that happen. I would also like to share with all of you a couple personal statements I received from my mentors. First is my Congressman Ronnie Jackson, who was an alumni at Texas A&M. Charlie Kirk was a remarkable man who was admired by defenders of free speech, not only in our country, but around the world. He was a devoted father,
this is not
husband,
currently
and follower of Christ.
live,
He accomplished
clearly,
what many thought impossible.
because it is nighttime. But what they're doing is a candlelight vigil for Charlie Kirk, which I think is dope. But did you guys see
we are not white
last night what happened at the candlelight vigil in Idaho, at the Idaho State Capitol? They had a candlelight vigil for Charlie Kirk, and an individual came in and actually, you know what? So you guys might have seen my video on dude gets beat up for Charlie Kirk. I got a DM from one of the guys, one of the main dudes that beat. So let me read this. I'm the one who went after the guy in the video from the visual in Idaho. He rode a bike into the middle of the visual during a quiet prayer. They were all praying and crying with candles, praying for Charlie and for his family and for this nation. And this dude rode his bike into the middle of a group of people quietly praying for Charlie Kirk and his family and our nation, and started screaming, "Fuck Charlie Kirk." He was told to leave repeatedly, that over and over again just kept screaming, "Fuck Charlie Kirk." When I walked over to him, he made eye contact with me, and he literally said to me, "Do something." That's when he did something. That is from the dude who actually threw the first punch on the dude who was screaming, "Fuck Charlie Kirk" at the candlelight vigil last night in Idaho. And that dude got jumped by about 12 people. He got his ass beat. And from my understanding, the only person arrested was the dude who came and started screaming, "Fuck Charlie Kirk" at the candlelight vigil. I heard that he was arrested and charged on several charges. So he got his ass whooped and he got arrested, is my understanding. That's the reports that I have right now. I'll have to verify that he was arrested, but from somebody who was there and involved intimately, that's what I've been told. Navy Assassin said, "Hey, JD, I'll be clean for 2 years this December." Had to drop a friend of 3 years because he kept spewing the same hate-filled rhetoric that caused this POS to target Charlie. Completely understand, my man. Love you and congratulations on your recovery. That's absolutely beautiful. Let's see what they're saying over here on Fox at this news conference. I actually want to see just a tad bit more of this. I noticed Kash Patel is in the background here.
He said, always forgive your enemies. Nothing annoys them so much. A few months ago, I referenced this last night, Charlie posted to social media, when things are moving very fast and people are losing their minds, it's important to stay grounded. Turn off your phone, read scripture, spend time with friends, and remember, internet fury is not real life. It's going to be okay. He again said, when you stop having a human connection with someone you disagree with, it becomes a lot easier to commit violence. He said, what we as a culture have to get back to is being able to have a reasonable agreement, where violence is not an option. Now, again, to my young friends out there, you are inheriting a country where politics feels like rage. It feels like rage is the only option. But through those words, we have a reminder that we can choose a different path. Your generation has an opportunity to build a culture that is very different than what we are suffering through right now. Not by pretending differences don't matter, but by embracing our differences and having those hard conversations. I think we need more moral clarity right now. I hear all the time that words are violence. Words are not violence. Violence is violence.
And this dude is spitting hot fucking flames right now. And I've said this in a video, I believe, that I released yesterday, where they're saying that words are violence. Silence is violence. These are fucking retards who've never experienced real violence. Take it from somebody who has experienced and perpetrated real violence in his life, who has seen what actual combat and what actual real life violence is. Words are not violence. Words are a solution to violence. It's only once we get to the point where we're not speaking anymore that we resort to violence. When words fail, violence prevails. Words are not violence. And this dude is trying to give people hope for a path out of the violence and the rhetoric and the hatred that is going on in this country.
I'd like to take a few minutes.
And I think that dude is absolutely fucking lit for that. I want to see this dude talk.
As the sheriff, to express my gratitude for everybody who has played a part in this investigation. As you know, it's been a vast, a complicated, and a very, very fast-paced investigation. You're looking at people standing up here who are running on, if they got an hour's sleep in the last couple of days, they're probably lucky. It has been very taxing. It has been so impressive, speaking on behalf of the local law enforcement, to see the cooperation that we've seen in this type of case. Across the state, sheriffs, chiefs, our state partners have stepped up and have come to the call on anything that we needed. Our county chiefs have been phenomenal. Our Utah County Attorney, Jeff Gray, who's standing.
Destin Morales, he was in 60 Days In. Who? Me? Are you fucking retarded? I was offered 60 Days In before I was ever even on YouTube, and I categorically turned it down because that shit is fucking lame. If you were talking about me, run that shit right up your ass, you fucking weirdo. Absolutely never been on 60 Days In. I think that shit's stupid. Sebastian Rod, oh look, convicts doing YouTube. Oh look, Sebastian, convicts who've been through shit, real shit in their lives, doing better than you. Being a retarded internet troll, I'm out here doing better than you. And you've got something to say about it. Shocking that some fucking low-life lame who has nothing better to do, they come into where we're talking about a serious topic, about a thing that has hurt our country, about a brutal assassination where a father was taken away from his kids and his wife in front of his kids and his wife, where he was shot in the neck in front of his fucking young daughter, and she was scared by the sound and ran to her father for safety. But you want to come in here and be a complete and total fucking yuck mouth ass clown. Congratulations, bro. You're the weakest link. You're fucking stupid as fuck. Congratulations for being that guy, Bubba. Calamity said the audacity to call someone a fascist while you're trying to stop others from having a different opinion. The irony is so palpable, isn't it? The lone wolf, Charlie was thinking like all of us. I am a Romanian. I love Charlie. His thinking was like ours, but the real communists and fascists are the liberals. I grow up in communism. I know I was love Charlie. Him was speaking the truth. Lone wolf, absolutely agree with you, dude. Thank you for your voice in this because it's important. Comrade Chewy, much love to you, JD. I love the videos you're making, man. I don't know if you got my last super chat, but keep up the great work. I believe that I read your last super chat, my brother, and it was fucking beautiful. Love you, man. Boba Booey. Unconfirmed, a Discord chat found hinted at a rifle pickup point. Possible he passed it off after the shooting, later dumped it in the woods. See, he would have had to have passed it off before he got off that roof if that shot came from the roof. Now, there are trajectory issues. If you guys go watch my friend Valhalla VFT, he did a whole video on this. He's a Green Beret, and firearms and exiting people from the planet is his wheelhouse. That's his speciality, dog. That's what he does. And he breaks down why he doesn't believe the narrative. And he's got another video coming out today about the whole thing. Heathman Gaming, 24/7 UFO news is in the chat trying to punk you out. Okay, thank you for letting me know. I haven't seen them. They can run that up their ass. We're actually doing important shit here. But I appreciate you letting me know, dog. I'll keep on the lookout. I believe Dr. Dre Light probably already twatapulted them into the nether regions of a dark eternity. Epic Face said, let's not forget the school shooting in Colorado that happened around the same time as Charlie was shot. Absolutely 100%. And, you know, it's hard to really comment too much on that because they're not releasing the details. They're saying that shooter was radicalized, but they're not saying by who or what direction. They're giving us very little to go on. So there's very little to report on that whole situation, which is suspect. Quibbly Danger just hopped on. What's up, J Daddy? What's up, my man? How you doing, brother? Big love and respect. Tim Doe, from a faith standpoint, the Lord chose this time and place to bring our brother home, not to divide us, but to unite us and illuminate our own transgressions and bring us all back into the light, courage and faith. And I believe that, but I also have concerns that this is going to take us into a much darker section of our nation's history. I hope that we can listen to Charlie's words and let them echo, because I don't believe he would support political violence. I don't believe he would want this to be a situation that instigates more violence. But I do believe that's where we're headed, unfortunately. The Real McBee, what's up, man? Lincoln, MLK, JFK, Robert Kennedy, and now Kirk. It's nuts when you speak your opinion. My heart goes out to Charlie's family. Much love. Much love to you, man. Jasmine Crockett is still in Congress. James Lindsay, very much so as of 2 days ago with her loud ass. John Nelson, what's your favorite dinosaur? I like Triceratops, bro. I'm a huge Triceratops fan. And Jax has a Thigh-ceratops, a tattoo of a Triceratops skeleton on her thigh, which I think is just absolutely gorgeous. Tommy B, you called it some 4x4s, sheet metal, strings. Hell yeah. Xavier Buckmaster, we were never meant to see videos like that. I thought I would be completely desensitized, but that video horrified me. And even as somebody who has seen real violence up close and personal, that video rocked me as well. Dexter D, do you think America will be different after this? Yes. I think America we have turned a page into a different chapter. The world changed. America changed. after that one shot. That one shot changed the world in a bad way, brother. In a bad way. Bye, Felicia said, it's cowardly to shoot instead of talking about differences of opinion. Absolute act of cowardice. Absolutely. Erwin, so good to see you. Did you look into the pedo caught in North Virginia trying to get with a 15-year-old and let free to flee to Israel? Oh, you mean in Nevada? Yeah, Nevada. I DM'd you about it day one. They don't extradite. Yes, I actually, Erwin, I actually reported on it that day. That day I reported on it. So there's a video out there. I know that I put out a lot of videos, so sometimes it's hard to keep up with them. But thank you for putting me on game. I love you, brother. Richard Bove, what's up, my man? How you doing, bro? I'm starting to become ashamed to call myself a veteran. How did this country become so unstable and so scared from what it was back in the 40s and 50s to now? Where did we go wrong? Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. It is so crazy to me that we have veterans who are starting to question their service to this country because of how sick our country has become. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your sacrifice. Please understand that for every single radical lunatic out there, there are still good Americans out here towing the line, brother. Lori, thank you so much for your support. I love you. Just here to roast. In prison, they will make him a portable meat sleeve. I don't think he's going to have the opportunity. I think they're going to execute this dude. I think he'll be kept in some horrific black site hole in the feds until they execute him. Fish nipples. I'm getting tired of the other side wanting to silence us at whatever cost. And I think that that's 1,000% a thing that is a sentiment across the board here, bro. Across the board. It is fascism, and then they call everybody else fascist. Mike said, just joined your live. Sorry if you covered it already. What will life be like for this maggot in prison? Much love. We're going to do some content on this, but I'll just let you guys know ahead of time. This dude is getting state and federal charges. I think they're going to get him with the federal charges as well as the state charges. They're going for the death penalty in both. Utah and the feds both have the death penalty. I think they're going to get him in both. And I think that the feds will supersede the state and that they will keep him in a black site, some hellhole where he will be in solitary confinement until they execute him. Sarah Delgado, good to see you, sister. Thank you, JD. We appreciate you. People are celebrating this disgusting behavior. For real, this is horrible. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Israel Ruiz, JD, keep talking your shit. You the man, brother. Love you, bro. I appreciate you. Cars to Cards, thank you for the support. I love you. Sandman, thank you for the support. I absolutely love you. John Nelson, hope you're having a good day, brother. What is your favorite dinosaur? Well, I'm having as good a day as possible with this current situation, man. And my favorite dinosaur is a Triceratops. And I love that people care what my favorite dinosaur is. That makes me really happy that we've had multiple questions on that. Nemesis said, the term shot around the world, referring to the Battle of Lexington, has now changed in my mind to this terrible tragedy. Rest in peace, Charlie, praying for you. I think a lot of people would agree with that, brother. Angie Love said the Democrats should call themselves Legion, for they are demons and they are many. There's a lot of mental health issues going on there, man. Democrappies didn't have to say the prayer. Well, they didn't have to say the prayer. They didn't allow the prayer to happen. They got loud and ignorant. They're good at that. They're fucking good at that. Lethal Badger, I was at work when it happened and didn't find out about it until later. I was shocked and couldn't believe it. This is going to be one of those moments like 9/11 where people are always going to remember where they were when they found out about this. Thomas said, do you regret celebrating Luigi Mangione? Those are two completely and totally different scenarios, my guy. Completely different scenarios. Professor Toxic, thank you for the support. Yo, the Toothless, thank you so much. Love you, brother. Audio drama feed. This will be in school history books one day. Absolutely will be. Absolutely will be. Bubba Booey said, Charlie welcomed debate and respected differing views. His killer shot from the crowd was cowardice, not courage. We have clarity, but disagreement. Thank you for your time. Come to the front and talk. And that's what he was all about. offering people an opportunity to share ideas. He was sharing ideas. He was allowing people to give their ideas, and he was sharing his with them. And they killed him for it. Thomas Horner. Hey, JD, love everything you stand for. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. He was the biggest advocate for free speech in this country. Such a huge mental illness problem in this country right now. It's frightening. Agreed. 1000%. This is mental illness. And that's why I think it's important that the people that are celebrating this be investigated and have a mental health evaluation to see if they are dangers to themselves or others. Dexter D, what did you think will happen? What do you think will happen to America now that this has happened? I think that we saw the death of the moderate right. I think the moderate right is out the window. And I think that they have opened a pathway for the extremist right. And I think they have made a martyr of Charlie Kirk. I think there's going to be 1 million Charlie Kirks now. And I think that they're going to be a lot more far right than Charlie was. Dominic Powers, I feel like there is going to be a lot of people to be the same as what happened with Martin Luther King Jr. And I kind of don't disagree. What do you think, JD? I absolutely agree. And in a video I'll be releasing today, we're going to be getting into that more. It's going to be about the people that are celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. Daytona Jim, what's up, bro? Hope all is well. Love you, Daytona Jim. Good to see you, man. Just saying what's up, fam. Pay to man, I appreciate you being here. Ruthless Wrath. On the next episode of Unsub, Rich finds out JD has been cheating on him with Donut. Will Donut find out that JD it's only using him to take AK Jesus for himself, to take his blessing? Wild stuff there, guy. As the world turns. Let's get back into this for a minute and check out what's going on. I'd like to hear what this man has to say.
Up here with us has been phenomenal in leading us through this investigation. I would like to thank the federal government for their resources, their assets. Our local team here, our FBI team, has been extraordinary in helping us work through this and bring this person to justice. Most of all, I would like to thank the public, and specifically, I would like to thank the public who turned to prayers and who turned to positiveness for us. I would like to thank them on behalf of the law enforcement community because we needed those prayers. That's what we needed to get through this. We needed your support and you gave it to us. We needed your patience and you gave it to us. And I would like to thank you for the Kirk family because that's what they need, is your support and your prayers, and that will get us through all of this.
So I think 914 Genetics really just summarized it. He said he's been moderate right his entire life, and he's radicalized right after this. This is not the win that these motherfuckers think it is that they're celebrating. He's not a registered Republican. Who's not? The shooter? Yes, we knew he wasn't a registered Republican. That would be a crazy idea to think that he was some sort of registered Republican. They won't like the radical right. No, the fuck they won't. People are tired of this shit, man. People are tired of this bullshit. People are tired of being shamed for being born white and straight. People are tired of being shamed for their belief in God. People are tired of being shamed for their belief that we need to actually protect our citizens and that this country is important. People are tired of being told that they're racist for loving their fucking country. People are tired of being told that they're racist because they actually have common fucking sense and they care about facts. People are sick of this shit. And it's not going to end well for these people that want to bring violence to people for disagreeing with them. None of this is going to go the way that these motherfuckers thought it was. This is going to go really poorly for them. Kevin DeFrame said it sounds like he was talking to others and planning it on Discord. Others were definitely involved. He was in a socialist Discord. And that makes perfect sense to me because he wasn't working alone. Christopher Hernandez said, recently found your channel. Me and my daughter just want to show love and support to you, brother. Keep doing what you're doing. Rest in peace, Charlie. Prayers to him and his family. Prayers to you and your daughter. God bless you. Thank you for being here. Much love to you both. Dominar said, this country was built from different beliefs and opinions coming together and making the best country in the world. What happened? Fascism happened. And it didn't happen from the right. It happened from the left, brother. Miguel said, what's up, JD? Have you seen the Tommy Robinson latest interview with Michael Franzese? I have not. Will you ever have Tommy Robinson on your platform? I would love to give him the opportunity to come on here and speak. I would love to do that. I don't know that much about the man, but I would like to platform people that may or may not have differing opinions from me. I don't even know what the dude stands for. I'm not that educated on it, but I would love to give the man a platform and hear what he has to say, because I think that's important. Lethal Badger said, men standing on business. Non-Toxic said, Brian Harmon, I'll be looking for you, brother, over there. Lord Stingray said, I refuse to believe the government was not involved in this assassination. I'm going to be careful what I say because they're taking people down off YouTube for saying certain things right now. Nexus Shadow says, as the evening of the shooting, Utah criminal justice system has stated that they will be pursuing the firing squad as the applicable punishment for the death sentence. Jonathan Polo said, hey, man, after this event, it reaffirmed my beliefs and inspired me to be more outspoken about it. Exactly. These motherfuckers lost because of that. Charlie inspiring many young people to speak out about their beliefs. God bless him and his family. This is going to canonize people into being more vocal. They wanted to terrorize us. They wanted to silence you if you disagree. And the exact opposite is what's happening in this country right now. Blackbeard said he fucked around and found out dude regretted yelling while everyone was praying. And people need to find out, bro. The ginger, wood chipper from one ginger to another, brother. Love you, man. Israel said, ignore the trolls, buddy. They need a therapist. I just genuinely enjoy talking shit, bro. I grew up in the 80s and the 90s where we talked a lot of shit. And I just generally, it gets me bricked up, bro. When you give me a fucking opportunity to roast you in front of thousands of people and make you look this big, it gives me a special tingle in my subcockle area. So I'll be doing it sometimes. Zal Illusions. Don't let these edgy kids bother you, JD. Keep doing you and making a difference in the world. Much love. Love you, bro. Christopher Bell. Hi, JD. I'm a father and I would have done the same thing. People need to be responsible for the consequences of their actions, even children. What happened to Charlie was pure evil. And, you know, we don't get to decide the consequences of our actions when we do horrific things. Accountability is absolute. And, you know, I realized that when I got into recovery. And that's why instead of fighting the charges that I was facing, I went in and I pled guilty. And I threw myself at the mercy of the court. Whatever needs to happen, needs to happen. I fucked up. I'm here to take accountability. This dude, if he is convicted, if he is found guilty, I believe 100% wholeheartedly he'll be getting the death penalty. Susan said, unfortunately, this will not stop until we stop voting for the politicians spouting hateful rhetoric. I think if you are spouting hateful rhetoric as a politician, the absolute minimum that should happen is you should lose your job, lose your seat, and you should never be allowed back in office. I think that they should honestly pursue criminal charges against these people. Damnation said, yo, brother, ignore the trolls. They feed off any attention you give them. They have dad-shaped holes in their hearts. Dad-shaped holes. Woo! Bro, I love that. Fuck yeah. Clapping me in the comment section won't make your dad love you. Mwah. Raul said, just trying to put a smile. If he had made it, he play fifth, many men. Rest in peace. Oh, 50. 50 Cent. Many men. Whoa, these dudes have taken many men. Kevin Knox. Keep up the good work and God bless, but this one hurts a little harder. It definitely does, brother. Andrew Love said the left will never understand our pain since there is no one on their side that is a beacon of light for them. That's true. Is there anyone on the left that they can look to who is an actual beacon of light. Gavin Newsom, that dude is a slimy fucking reptilian scum fuck, dog. They're all lost souls wandering in the darkness. Who, Bernie used to be their beacon of light. And then Bernie got proved to be a grifter. Bernie got proved to be taking money from the pharmaceutical companies. Bernie got proved to be a multi-millionaire after all of his socialist talk, all of his don't take money from corporations and PACs and big business. And he turned out to be just like all the rest. They have nobody. Brianna said, I would bet he practiced the getaway. If they watched surveillance video, they would watch him practice because he jumped down so smoothly. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look up the getaway vid. I saw the getaway vid, Brianna, and here's the thing is that in the getaway vid, it's very apparent that he did not have the rifle. He had a small bag that definitely did not contain a 30-06. The 30-06 could not have been in his pants. When he jumped off, his knees fully bent. The pants would have, the gun would have blown right out the pants. A 30-06 is big and it's not easy to break down. He definitely couldn't have done it in 10 seconds. So where was the gun? Where was the rifle? If he was the one who shot Charlie Kirk, where was it? And how did it get off the roof? Because they didn't find it on the roof. They found it in the woods. Lawrence Leps. Hey, JD, what up? I enjoy watching your videos and live streams. Lawrence, I love having you here, brother. Thank you for being here. Eric said this entire thing feels off. Some things aren't adding up. Something else happened with Charlie, and it makes me depressed. And there's things that I really want to say right now, but if I say them, I won't be here anymore. But we're going to get there, but I'm going to have to be really careful how I word it and phrase it. And I want to just present evidence and let you guys draw your own conclusions instead of outright saying it. But this is coming, and I'm going to let you guys know what I think without endangering my channel or my life, because you see what happened to Charlie when he spoke up. All you despise. Yo, JD, longtime lurker, a big fan. You're acquainted with the system. Do you think he will get the unalive penalty, or is there a good chance he can avoid it? I don't think there's any chance he can avoid it. I think that now that they've got him in custody, even if he wasn't the one who took the shot, they have no choice but to make sure that he gets the death penalty now. Daddy Wolf. Hey, JD, was wondering if you feel like there is a piece missing, because to me, something feels off and that concerns me. Love you, brother. God bless. There are multiple pieces missing. And I think we're going to be able to prove that verifiably. Ariel said, who and where did the shooter learn advanced long-range firearms? I know Idaho, but that seems strange. So I think that shot was not the most advanced shot, but for one shot and to be getting that accuracy seems sus to me, especially with that rifle. Especially if you guys listened, the sound didn't sound like a 30-06 to me. Helen Gamer said, Quinn Pratt been telling the bosses of those people posting mocking and happy about it online. I saw that Quinn was doing that. I'm not with the cancel culture shit. But I understand people's anger. Pal Maria Media, stay solid. Thank you. Love you, family. I appreciate you. Brian Connor said they want to say thank you. Just want to say thank you for giving us all a place together during this. I love you. God bless you, family. Thank you so much. Peanut said, rest in peace, Charlie. He was a damn good man and deserved far better. I pray that his wife and children are doing okay. I genuinely wish I didn't see the video of him getting hit. Same, bro. Erwin, love you and Jax, brother. Can't wait to meet up sometime. I must have missed the video, but thought it was important that you see it. Much love to you. So here's the thing, is that anytime you speak out against the country that dude was from, it gets suppressed on all social media platforms. There is a certain country that is America's greatest ally, and if you speak out anything negative against them, it gets suppressed on social media. So I'm not surprised you didn't see it, brother. Ginger Williams, big love and respect. Steve, United States Marine Corps, no tolerance. My prayers go to Charlie and his family and you, but we lose sight of the family of this shooter. They need our prayers now. And absolutely correct. Agree with you 1,000, brother. Thank you for your service. Shelly Wilkins, it's starting to come out. The shooter is Trumper. No, it's not. No, it's not. JD, conspiracy theory. The Colorado event and Charlie Kirk was coordinated with Colorado, meant to be worse to overshadow Charlie Kirk. The school shooting was meant to be worse to overshadow Charlie Kirk. Nobody would think that would happen just because of the public gaze that Charlie Kirk has, man. It's an interesting theory, but I don't think so. Damnation, this is my taco money. Please use it to buy your favorite Mexican food. Other than that, you and Nux should do a video together. I want to work with Nux hella bad. I love Nux. And thank you so much. I am a taco lover, bro. I can't wait. Thank you so much for buying us tacos. Ivy, the ones celebrating need to be looked at. Absolutely agree. Do you know Snafu Snaps? I do not. Bingo Car Carevids. JD, you're doing a great job. Keep it up. Thank you so much. The Lone Wolf. Him don't do this alone. Just a small opinion in a larger chess game. Small peon in a larger chess game. They won't UK try. USA stand still. Change coming. We woke up. Hope you too. Love you, family. Dominic Powers. I saw something on Facebook that said this isn't red versus blue. It's humanity versus insanity. That feels like facts. Your thoughts, JD? I think it's up versus down. I think that the people in power are the ones who benefit financially and power-wise by keeping us divided from each other. And I think that they found a certain mentally ill group that can all fall in line with things that just don't make sense. And I think that's what we're seeing come into power right now. Disco Pogo, thank you so much, homie. Huge love and respect. Thank you. Everyone just needs a second to breathe. And I think that's what people do when they hear news. And I think that it's important for me to be able to come on here and process with all of you guys. I hope that's what you guys are getting out of this as well. And thank you so much for that support, homie. New York Anchor Basil, I love your name. I remember I was in my apartment in New York City, sick with a cold in bed, woke up at 5 p.m. to a text from my dad saying that he was assassinated. I didn't believe it at first, but then I looked it up. It felt so unreal. Facts. Alpha the Wolf, first time catching you live. Been watching you for a long time. Now just want to say, stay safe out there, brother. It feels like things are about to get wild. And Alpha, I think we all need to stay safe because I do believe things are about to get real weird, bro. Super Bear Jew, homie, thank you so much, my bearded brother. What's up? It's true. At work, so not up to date. Love you, brother. May Charlie rest easy. Big love and prayers to you, homie. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you so much, my man. I want to see if we can find, here's what I want to see. I want to see Kash Patel. Not that I trust this dude or the FBI, but I want to hear what he has to say.
I also want to give a special thanks to the Attorney General and the Department of Justice. Their unwavering support and their commitment to justice is shown true here. And without AG Bondi and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche and the resources they brought to bear, we would not have been able to complete our mission. And I just want to say special thanks. It's an honor to be a part of the Department of Justice.
Thank you again to our incredible law enforcement team who has worked so hard. Sheriff, I got a solid 90 minutes last night, so I'm probably the most well-rested person up here. Ladies and gentlemen, I get the microphone, so I hope you'll permit me.
Well, that was very short, and he didn't say shit. That was a huge disappointment from the director of the fucking FBI. That's all you have to say. That's crazy. I want to look at this, you guys. I want to see this. This is from Charlie Kirk's fucking channel right now.
And and it's his
This is
friends,
from
the
Charlie
people that work.
Channel. This is
of slow motion national decline is a choice. Today is our 2-year-old's birthday. And I look at my daughter, and that is my why. For those that are parents, you know exactly what I mean.
There is no mountain that stands tall as your faithfulness. There is no river that runs wide as your goodness.
Man, Charlie, I remember when we were starting these out, and it was like that. You know, it was like this. It was like your average
First 3 rows.
It was like your average political meeting where there was like 12 people in a room, and this is awesome.
This, in my personal opinion, was the most over-the-top Trump event that I've ever covered.
This is the #1 boots on the ground operation in the country. We're working directly in harmony with the Trump campaign. It's been vetted, it's been cleared, it's been blessed, as you could see there. And we're going to try to win this thing. No guarantees. It's what we do that matters. Mr. President, I can tell you this room is 100% with you, and we have your back. God bless you. We really do. Thank you. As you know, we are heading on campus here momentarily at the University of South Florida, throwing it down with the students. It's going to be a lot of fun. We are excited to continue this cultural movement that we have started at Turning Point USA. More high school chapters, more college chapters, and disagreement is not just welcome, it is invited. We want to have those tough conversations. That's what it's all about.
I think that's one of the most important parts of Charlie's message. I'm just going to say this. Disagreement is not only, he welcomed opposing viewpoints. He welcomed opposing viewpoints. He welcomed people who disagreed with him to come, and he gave them a microphone. He handed them a fucking microphone. And he said, come. Speak, use my platform, share your ideas. Let me share mine with you. Let's all discuss our ideas together. Let's see if we can find common ground. And they killed him for that. That was such a threat just to have an open discussion that questioned the narrative of what these people are forcing onto their fucking people. That they called him a racist. They called him a white supremacist. They called him a fascist. They called him a Nazi. Until somebody went out and murdered him, assassinated him brutally in front of his wife and kids and the entire world. And they made a force that they are not prepared to deal with by doing so. Kevin said they unalived the one guy willing to have the conversation with them. Exactly. Thank you, JD, for being the embodiment of American values. Love from Sweden. Love right back to you. And love to all of you in Sweden. Thank you for standing with us during this time. Andy said Charlie Kirk's wife, Erica, and kids were present at the Utah Valley University and were in the courtyard during the shooting. Things will be turning in a huge way. Much love. And much respect to Erica and the kids, man. Much respect to them. Hicka, thank you so much for the support. Bye, Felicia said, thank you, Dre, for being here. Dre is a gangster, man. Dre is a G. Dre shows up, bro. Dre shows the fuck up for this community, for all of us. Joseph said, I cried in my wife's arms the other day. I couldn't accept it. I didn't realize the massive impact he had on my life. I pray he is saved and with our Lord. Well, I can't speak for God, but I'd say it's a pretty fucking good chance that he's sitting courtside right now, bro. You know what I'm saying? His faith was hugely important to him, and he was virulent in speaking out about it. And Jackson and I have been kind of shook up over here too, so you're not alone. AJ, Lee Harvey Oswald, Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. I believe Mossad is behind due to Kirk's recent change of opinion with respect to Israel. I didn't say it, YouTube. I was just reading the super. I didn't say it with my mouth. I was just reading a super chat. I'm going to be presenting some evidence in a full length. Not only that this wasn't a lone gunman, but also presenting evidence that might back what was just said by AJ. You're a smart dude, bro. Alpha Dragon Gaming. Getting late to the live stream, but wanted to say hi. The last 2 days have been a whirlwind. I may not agree with everything you say, but as Reagan said, in short, you are my 80% ally, not my 20% enemy. Keep speaking the truth. That is how I feel about so many people. That is how I feel. Thank you for saying that. I've never heard that quote from Reagan before, but that is how I feel about so many people. I love you, brother. Thank you. Beautiful beard. Fucking A. AS said, JD, thank you for being unapologetically you. Thank you for appreciating that, dude. What a huge compliment. The celebrating makes me question my 15-year military service, preserving rights to free speech. Love you, bro. I would challenge you, and first off, thank you for your service. Thank you for your sacrifice. But I would challenge you, as well as every American, not to take it there, but to just see that we have a more present fight than ever before, that we need to fight for those rights. And every American needs to step to the plate to fight for our freedom of speech, to honor your sacrifice and the sacrifice of our brothers and sisters who didn't make it back. And every single person who has put their life on the line to defend those rights. We all, as Americans, veterans, active duty, or just average citizens, it's time for us to take up the fight for our own fucking rights, to use our mouths and our minds and our hearts and our spirits and stand for what the fuck we believe in. Because they're killing people for it. And it's not fucking okay. Midwest mom of two, when the control tower welcomed Charlie home, I cried. Rest in peace. I don't know anybody in my circle who hasn't cried about this. Glacial Source said, definitely radicalized and galvanized me more towards, to be more vocariferous. I don't know what that word means. That's a fucking great word. I'm gonna screenshot that. I'm gonna look that up later. I love upping my vocabulary. Thank you. Praying for us all to find solace and guidance we need. We are lost when discussion becomes bullets. Facts, dude. Lethal Badger. Hey, JD. Love you, man. Thank you for giving us a place to talk and give our thoughts. I love you and I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Brett Maples. I've always been right-leaning, but more in the middle. Charlie was a voice through the static that said, talking is the answer, not violence. When people stop talking, that's when you get violence. And they silenced him. And I wonder what the fuck they were expecting to get out of that by silencing that man. The anti-meditator. JD, you don't have to be a pro to get a shot like that. I'm a vet. Been plenty around guns. Like you said, we'll find more out soon. It's inevitable. Always keep it real, big dog. Much love. Thank you for your service and your sacrifice, homeboy. I love you. And yeah, I'm not real. So here's my experience with guns. Pistols and street combat. That's all I have. As far as rifles, I don't have much experience. I've never, as an adult, been able to go hunting because I caught a felony early on that barred me from being able to do that. So anytime I would get a firearm, it was always something that I could easily dispose of because I knew that it was a high-grade felony to get caught with it. Deep on 6, thank you so much for the support. Huge love. Cosmic Cyclone, have you tried to contact Nux? I don't have any contact information for Nux. Otherwise, I would. John McLean, Erica Kirk, example of resiliency, wonderful person instead of a violent response, posted Bible verses and through her elegant actions to say, I still believe, also known as standing on business. Imagine being at that event and watching your husband get executed and having to grab your kids, get them to fucking safety, not knowing if your husband was going to make it or not. Going to the hospital, finding out he's dead, and having to go back to the hotel room and pack up his things and go back to an empty house with your kids and still staying positive and steadfast in your faith through all that. Fuck, dude. They took a good one. Josh said Tom McDonald dropped a song for Charlie. It's actually really good. A lot of the stuff that Tom McDonald puts out is hit or miss for me. I think a lot of it is this song was good. Dude's wildly successful for an independent artist. Dude slays shit. But Felicia said Cash said more. He came back to the mic to say that. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was looking for what he said, and I was super disappointed that he didn't say more. I guess I just missed it. Thank you for letting me know, sis. I'll have to go back and find it. Kalashani Cowboy. Little Shitter is wearing a Salt Lake Democratic Socialists of America shirt. Didn't even know we had commies in Utah. Holy shit. Is that what that is? I'm screenshotting that. I'm going to find that shirt. Thank you so much, Cowboy. Appreciate you. Disco Pogo, again, thank you for that support, man. Thanks for saying my name correctly. I just think it's important people don't initially react and take time to let the police or the FBI do due diligence. Absolutely. And I appreciate your support. I also think it's important for us, and I think Charlie Kirk would have agreed with this wholeheartedly, to think critically, to see the evidence in the case, and to come to our own conclusions as well, and to question what we're being told. I think Charlie would have expected for us to question what we're being told. And I think that's one way that we can honor him in this situation. Otto Green, Trump seemed genuinely upset about this. You think it goes deeper? I think Trump has ties and allegiances that make me question a lot. I think it's weird that him and Benjamin Netanyahu posted about Charlie being dead at the exact same minute. I don't think that there's concrete proof or evidence. I would have to look into that further, but there's a lot about this shit that doesn't sit right with me, logically and from a soul standpoint. Bye, Felicia, Tom McDonald, Charlie. Yep. Jason, do you think Charlie would forgive his killer? Charlie might. I won't. Carbalicious Michael. Hey, JD, and prayers to the Kirk family. Absolutely prayers to the Kirk family. Azaroth. Too weird for it to happen a day before 9/11. I want to say the FBI has them, but the professionality of the shooting is off. Could be an Epstein cover-up orchestrated by the CIA to make us forget. Well, if you look, Charlie Kirk over the last week had changed his position on Epstein and had pointed that his logical conclusion points more towards a certain agency from America's greatest ally. Something to think about and to look at. Bye, Felicia said, thanks, Trev, for being here. Is Trev in the chat? Trev, what's up, big dog? Hell yeah. And my boy Shades is in the chat. Thank you guys so much for being here. Every single one of you. I love you guys, all of you. Jonathan said, ain't it fucked that a lot of the people calling for this guy to get the joy buzzer yesterday are paying for him now that it looks like he's a groiper? A lot going on. Kevin said, Kyle Kulinski is the beacon for hope of the left. Your assessment of Bernie was misinformation from the right. His wealth is proportionate to his contributions. Love your channel, JD. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Just awful. I think that there's really measurable amounts of payments that he's taken from pharmaceutical companies. And when he got called out on it, he got real uncomfortable and real quiet. See, I used to be a Bernie guy. Bro. There was a period of time where I leaned more left, and it wasn't the right that attracted me away from the left. It was the left that pushed me away from the left. There was a time where I was not a leftist, I was not a Democrat, but I leaned more that direction, and I saw what they were doing, and I was like, I can't fucking abide by this. I can't ride out with this. This is wrong. This goes against what my beliefs and what reality is. And that's what happened with that. Nathaniel said, spitballing here, this is the same people who shot Trump. They learned that the round they used was too small, so they used a bigger round. I think that we're going to learn more, and I hope that we learn more. Cosmic Cyclone, you want to talk with Nux? I got you, bro. Cosmic Cyclone, I absolutely want to talk with Nux. I would love to be able to collaborate with Nux. I think Nux is fucking lit, dog. Angel Eye, I'm so upset and angry over this. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, and praying for his family. Much love from Ireland, JD. Angel Eyes, my sister, what's up? Big love and respect to you. God bless you, and God bless Ireland. Aaron Gobra. Buff like Jesus. The more I learn about humans, the more I love my dog. Mark Twain. Facts on that, bro. Mark fucking Twain. Echo Travel USA. I feel the same way. I'm an immigrant who did 6 years in the Navy, got out with a disability, but following your channel gives me hope. Thank you. Thank you for coming to our country. Thank you for becoming a part of our country. We love you. You are valued here. Thank you for your service to our country in the Navy. I'm sorry to hear about your disability. We admire you and we love you. Thank you for being here with us. Vince, thank you for your support, homie. Zombie Tom Media. Hey, bro, did you see Kasky's response about this? I was a big fan until I saw it. Disgusting. I haven't seen Kasky's response about this. No. I actually have been mutuals with Kasky. I'm a little bit. I'm going to have to go watch that before I make a statement on that. Sith Gamer. John 12:24-26 says a grain of wheat must fall to the ground and die to make many seeds. But if it never dies, it remains only a single seed. I think that's exactly what we're seeing right now. I think they just created a million fucking Charlie Kirks, bro. Eli. Like you, JD, I want to point out a lot of the media is propagandizing his death to push agendas. Don't like him, but it's terrible for him to die. Absolutely. Void Toxins. Did you see the cringe message on his bullets? Yeah. The dude talks on like a Discord mod. I think it's more like a Reddit mod. Much love, JD. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. So for those of you who weren't in here before when we read the messages that Void Toxins is talking about, they were written on these shell casings. One said, "Hey, fascist, catch." So you were about to do the biggest fascist action in recent American history, and you wrote, "Hey, fascist, catch." You were going to silence somebody for trying to have open discussions about things you disagreed with, and you silenced him with assassination, and yet you're calling him a fascist. That's fucking crazy work. Another one said, "Oh, Bella, ciao, Bella, ciao, ciao," which could be a reference to Bella Ciao, an Italian song dedicated to those who fought fascism in World War II. Again, spiraling into this idea that the assassin was the good guy fighting fascism with a blatant act of fascism. And the last one, this would be the cringiest in my opinion, said, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO." Yeah, a brilliant mind at play here. Definitely not extreme mental illness. Colonel Greasebag McQueen. Thanks, JD, for all you do, and I pray for the Kirk family. Please continue to pray for the Kirk family, and please continue to pray for our country. We're in bad shape right now. Whiskey Taco Freak Show. I love your name, dog. Hey, JD, glad you and others are speaking out for the common sense and basic decency. Also, if you were a wrestler, your moves would be the 5150 hold and the wood chipper slam. Love you, brother. Thank you so much. Kevin Dufresne, he pulled it. If you point at the center and jerk the button, it will go up and right. That's what we saw. I see this a lot with new people. YouTube safe wording. Loud and clear, brother. Loud and clear. The rifle used was chambered in 30-06, which has an effective range of up to 300 to 500 yards. Charlie was 200 yards away. You'd have to be blind or have Parkinson's to miss that shot from that range. And yes, thank you for saying that. Waffle Mag, this situation hurts. Apparently, my boyfriend works with Charlie's mother-in-law. Here in Arizona. I don't know how true it is, but I've never known him to embellish anything he has to say. Apparently, the world is a lot smaller than we think. And I believe that the world is smaller than we're led to believe, to be honest with you. Once you start getting out there and you really start networking and navigating, and I've met people I never would have imagined I would have met through being just here and just talking with you guys and just sharing my beliefs. The world is smaller than we think. America the GOAT. When you have a family and living an American dream like Charlie, like myself, it hits harder. And if you don't have kids, you won't understand. Rest in peace, Charlie. Prayers for the family. Much love, JD. Joshua said, hey, JD, love your videos, man. Although I'm torn about this tragedy, I can't help but feel more affirmed in my faith and in my identity as an American. We won't go down easily. And that, my friend, right there is exactly how Charlie Kirk would have wanted us to stand. Firm and strong in our faith and in this country. Iris Wright said, sad to see him pass, but I respected him for the platform he wanted to give. Not needed to, despite being someone that goes against his beliefs. Yes, he was willing to hear everybody out. Starvo said, if you're going to commit a crime nowadays, you know that you will be caught. Everyone has cameras. Example, I have cameras at my house, my cars, my motorcycle, so don't do crime. And bro, as somebody who used to be a criminal, I 100% agree with you. 100% agree with you. Jonathan Osborne said, Mossad into the wood chipper. I'm going to no comment that. I'm going to no comment that. G-Man Jams, JD, I love the message you promote. I dropped a song about Charlie on my channel as well. You're a musician yourself. Would love to hear what you think about it. Prayers out to Charlie and his family. I will check that out, G-Man Jams. Thank you so much. HR Paper Stacks. Homie, I appreciate the support. Thank you. Thank you, JD, for doing these lives. We appreciate the platform you have created that allows us to share our opinions respectfully. Salute to you, big dog. Salute right back to you. Your support goes so much farther than you think, homie. I appreciate that. Mob Stopper, this country needs major healing. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Prayers for his family. Thank you for the live. Thank you for being here, Mob Stopper. Thank you for being a day one in this community. And thank you for always being a positive member. Jonathan said, I honestly cried when I heard the news. The fact that his daughter and son will not be able to grow up with their father is one of the most horrifying things to think about, thinking about his family. G-Man Jesus Jam said, I apologize if what I commented sounded self-centered. I promised y'all that wasn't my intention. Much love to the Kirk family. I think it was totally appropriate to speak out about the art that you created to honor Charlie Kirk. Eli said, I'm going to go eat. Love you, JD. Rest in peace, Charlie. May we heal America. Facts. Enjoy your meal, my friend. Mike had a baby. It's a boy. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. It's true. The good do die young. Satirical Siren. If they can use moderation on social media to silence us as well, then I'm going to report every sick leftist thing I see about this as hate speech on all social media outlets. And it's fair if that's what you want to do. Redneck Sniper. This doesn't smell right. He came off the roof with nothing in his hand. He did have a bag, but it was like this big, dog. Can a 30-06 rifle fit in something this big? It cannot. Can a 30-06 rifle be broken down quickly and easily in 10 seconds? It cannot. You can't fit that in a backpack, and they found the rifle in the woods. Redneck Sniper is right on time. Right on time, my brother. Thank you. Nicholas, thank you so much, bro. Hell yeah, I appreciate that support, big dog. Thank you, JD, for a place to process this tragedy. Love you. Love your content. Rest in peace, Charlie. Hopefully this dark time makes us stronger and brings us peace somehow. I love you, homie, and thank you for your positivity. Thank you. Titanium Link says it's depressing to see people like Hassan, Diddy, Hamas, Piker, Epstein, Bin Laden playing like they care only to start making it about themselves. Same thing with Dean Withers. Same thing with a lot of these leftists who just 2-3 days ago were calling him dangerous, hateful, fascist, racist, white supremacist, Nazi, just days before he was killed. And now they're like, oh, well, he didn't deserve that. You know, I mean, yeah, I disagreed with him, but I would never want violence. You incited it. You incited that violence. You canonized mentally ill people to go out and do this. Kalashni Cowboy, if the Ciao Bella on the casing is from the song in the 30s in Italy, that was used as a communist resistance anthem against Mussolini fascists. Yes. Radar said, this is just sad. People celebrating this like a dictator was taking down. Dude was just a debater, guys. He just gave everyone a platform to speak and then shared his opinion. Life of a college mortuary student. This situation only emboldened an ex-friend of mine to talk crap because they didn't like that he was open to real conversation and not propaganda. There's going to be people radicalized in both directions. Alpha the Wolf. Not to take away from Charlie, but where is your video on the Ukrainian girl coming out? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Also, God bless you and your family. So I was going to be doing a video on that. And to be honest with you, there's been so much going on. I have every intention of speaking out on it, but it got lost in the shuffle, which happens with certain things. I put out content all day, every day, while owning a business, while having children, while having a wife, while having my own personal needs. Sometimes it takes me a minute to get around to everything. I still would like to be doing more content on the Colorado shooting. But when there's very little information on that coming out and more information coming out on this every minute of every day, sometimes it takes me a minute and I have to circle back around. Zombie Tom Media. Kasky said, I'm not going to mourn a fascist who made his money peddling bigotry and defending Israel's genocide in a response on his Instagram. Well, isn't that just fucking retarded? Because just last week, Charlie changed his stance on that. Came out and vocally spoke out against what's going on in Gaza. And I think a lot of that might be why he's not here today. Hicka said, according to Newsweek, the shirt of the shooter seems to be from a disabled veterans national foundation. According to DVNF, it's not available for distribution, only meant as a gift for donors. So I've heard that, but I have also heard, where are you? Because I screenshotted you. I've also heard that it is a Salt Lake Democratic Socialists of America shirt. So I'm going to have to go and actually research that when I'm not on a live, and we'll circle back to that. Slum a patch. Eerie thing is 2,000 years ago, they murdered Jesus for a similar thing. Rest easy, Charlie. Stay strong, Kirk family. It's fucking true. Ethan Baker. This was a clear message. They silenced the best of us because they don't want a conversation. They want violence. And I don't think it's going to work out well for them, because the vast majority of them think that words are violence, think that silence is violence, and they're not akin or accustomed to what brutality really is. Every once in a while, they get somebody who's emboldened, but for the most part, these people that are cheering for violence would fold in a slap fight. Redneck Sniper, a rifle like that has a minimum 20-inch to 26-inch barrel. You're not fitting that in a backpack or down your pant leg. He was limping from an injury from the drop. Absolutely. And if you guys want to see a really great video on that, my boy Valhalla VFT was a Green Beret. He's already released one video on it, and he's got another one coming out today. I'm in regular contact with him. We've been friends for like 20 years, and I had no idea he was a YouTuber. I definitely didn't know that he had moved back after I moved back, and he only lives 15 minutes away from me. I highly recommend you check out Valhalla VFT's videos on this for more clarity. His breakdowns are incredible. Big Trev, what is up? We are holding a protest about his death at CSU the same day Charlie Kirk was supposed to debate there. Rest in peace, Charlie. He was a martyr. That's dope that you guys are holding a protest. I know that there's a candlelight visual for him here in Eugene, Oregon, which is an epicenter of liberalism. And I'm kind of interested to see how that goes on Saturday. Love you, Trev. Thank you for being here this morning. I know it's early. Michael, you know who. Hey, JD, 23-year-old here. How am I supposed to raise a family in a world that I can't even go grocery shopping without having to check over my shoulder? Also, any updates on 10-year-old Victor? Well, my recommendation to you would be to get a concealed carry and to get trained in how to use a firearm. I think that anybody who has their Second Amendment rights should have a concealed carry and should be adept at using weapons, because obviously we don't live in a safe world. Obviously, law enforcement, regardless of whether they're good cops or bad cops, work on reactive policing instead of proactive policing. We're not going out there and trying to stop things from happening. They just arrest a motherfucker after they do terrible shit, and the damage is already done. So I think that everybody who has Second Amendment rights needs to be exercising them. And as far as Victor, I have not heard any updates, brother, but I will check today and I will get back to y'all. Bye, Felicia. Alan is among legends. Ozzy, Hulk, and now Charlie. No disrespect. Rest in peace to all that we have lost. Thank you. Thank you for keeping his name in your thoughts and in our thoughts. I love you. For those of you who don't know, I lost a child at the end of 2022. His name was Alan. And a lot of the people here remember him. And that brings me great peace, because it's hard losing a child, you guys. And, you know, one of the things that's affected my wife, Jax, who a lot of you know so much about this, is that she lost her dad and grew up without her dad. So knowing that Charlie Kirk's kids are going to grow up without him, she has cried repeatedly over that. Kevin Hassan, hearing that his daughter ran to him after the shot because she got scared of the sound breaks me. Same, man. Same. I haven't wanted to tell Jax about that. RTJ Sims, remember the 10th of September, a Titan was shot for his thoughts. They couldn't debate him, turned bullets to face him. Bleeding Kansas is brought to a thought. Michael said, did we already read that one? Or did you do it twice? I love you, Michael. I appreciate you. Insane Hippie said, check how he was walking with a limp due to the rifle being hidden in his pants. That's where he hid the rifle, I believe. The rifle wouldn't have fit in his pants, dude. The rifle wouldn't have fit in his pants. A 30-06 is a big gun. And we see him when he drops. You see his knees bend all the way. He does a squat. He does a squat when he hits the ground. That would have tore straight through his pants. It's physically impossible. I do believe that he was limping because he was injured from the drop, but that rifle was not on that man. Peyton Chris, did you hear about the U.S. Naval Academy got shot up yesterday? One of the craziest things. That thing is so fucking crazy. And it's one of the things that I want to report on and I just can't get a second to breathe. You know what I'm saying? Bug versus windshield. 3 arrows on a bullet is a pro Antifa group. I'm screenshotting that. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Skull, what's up, homie? I feel very disgusted by this whole thing, removing the politics. A man, a husband, and a father was killed. I'm praying for his family, as are hopefully all of us, man. I love you. Buster Cluck Farm. I love your name. I feel the same way as that other vet. I'm so disappointed in our country right now. It saddens me beyond words to hear veterans feeling this way about our country, that we are dishonoring their service by the way things have gone. And we need to turn that around. We need to start valuing their sacrifice. We need to turn that shit around, you guys. Kalashani Cowboy, not the flag eagle shirt from the shooting, the red shirt he's wearing in some other photos. That's a commie shirt. Okay. Okay, so both things can be true. He had a disabled veteran shirt on at the time of the shooting, and he had other shirts that showed that he was a part of the Utah National Socialist Organization. So here's the thing. Know that a lot of the times when criminals go to do crimes, you guys, they will dress the part. Now, even here's a relatable example. When I went to the No Kings rally, do you guys remember? I went to the No Kings rally. I wasn't sure what to expect. So I wore a Kamala Harris circle jerk shirt where it's just a bunch of different colored figures holding each other's dicks in a circle. And it said the people for Kamala Harris, so that I would fit in to camouflage. Wearing a disabled veteran shirt to a Charlie Kirk event would be tremendous fucking camouflage. That would make sense that he would fit in and be able to blend. If you're in the woods, you wear green and brown camo. If you're at a Charlie Kirk event, you wear some fucking veteran shit. Aaron said, I feel like we are headed toward the eagle or towards the edge. Sorry. Anyone else feeling the same? I think probably, yes. Maddie McFatface, I sent an IG message from the Sober Anglers page. Thank you, brother. Love you. David D, what happened to Charlie was tragic. Let's not let us distract us from Epstein and Trump's involvement. And I think that Charlie would want us to stay on task with that as well, because he started speaking out about it and he changed his mind and spoke very vocally about it within the last week. I'm going to be showing you clips. I'm going to be showing you guys clips of the changes in Charlie's speech leading up to his death, leading up to him dying. He changed his mind about America's greatest ally. Jonathan Osborne, fascism came to be as a direct and polar opposite to communism. Neither side is fascist. Well, using violence to silence your opposition is a fascist activity, bro. Damnation. So if words are violence and silence is violence, the only thing that isn't violence is what they want you to say. Exactly. Exactly. And actual violence apparently isn't violence because they'll fucking celebrate that. Dominar said, J.D. Allen is still in our thoughts and he will live on in our hearts. You will never know the loss you feel. Just remember, we all love you, man. You're making me tear up, bro, on a live stream. I love you so much, Dom. Thank you. Insane hippie. The word regulated in the Second Amendment meant well-maintained and trained in the use of the arm and not government regulations. Facts. Absolute facts. Vito said, I was born and raised in Guyana, got my visa and moved to the U.S. in December of 2008. It is sad to see the same political violence I escaped rise in my new home. Much love, big bro. First of all, welcome. Glad to have you here, brother. And I'm sorry that this is what it's coming to, man. Yeti man, I can't understand the insanity anymore. They ended a man that was willing to talk and discuss. Just shows that they are no longer interested in civil interaction. And that breaks my heart. Same, bro. Titanium Link, the arrows was a reference to the game Helldivers 2. The combination of arrows is the stratagem used to drop a 500 kilogram bomb. Love you, JD. Thank you for educating me on that, bro. Brandon Helldiver. Hey, brother, love from Eugene. What up, man? Love from just outside Eugene. I don't remember crying for the death of a public figure before Charlie Kirk. I feel awful for his family. He was genuinely one of my heroes. This is a turning point. Brandon, let me ask you this. Are you going Saturday to the Alton Baker Park candlelight vigil for Charlie? I would love to know if you're going to be attending. Disco Pogo. My father was a British orphan. He moved to America and became part of the Army Rangers. He later committed suicide. I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry. From what he experienced. My father would have loved Charlie. He would have loved the freedom to speak. And, you know, my wife Jax lost her father the same way before she was even born. Big love and respect to you, and I'm sorry that you've gone through that, man. Rest in peace. Gonzo, love, brother, and everything you do. Love you, Gonzo. I appreciate you so much. DX3, do you think at its core that a lot of this could stem from MK Ultra type shit? I think that a lot of the social media indoctrination that is reaching the left parrots and mimics MK Ultra. I think that's why they canonize and repeat words so often. They all say the same shit. And it's always stuff that is meant to evoke emotions of fear. And they encourage you to retaliate to that fear with violence. And I think we saw that come to a head. Tabby Wessa, something has to give before everything falls apart. This wasn't just a political murder. It was an attack on our First Amendment rights. And that is 1000% correct. Doc K, so good to see you, sis. What is up? About 20 feet south of where he dropped off the building in the maintenance entrance on UVU. I question if the pew-pew was already there or taken after. Don't see how he did this alone. And Doc, I think that it's really apparent when you look at all of the facts of this and the video that we have, that whoever was on that roof, if they were the shooter, they had to have been able to transfer that firearm to somebody else because they didn't have it when they came off the roof. That's just facts. And thank you so much for being here, sis. It's good to see you. Pamela Smallman, JD, I know people are asking you about covering other stories. Just remember to take care of you. All of these stories be draining mentally. Much love. That is a real life thing. And thank you for acknowledging that. I appreciate that. Thank you for your concern for me. It genuinely, talking about this negative stuff, researching this negative stuff, trying to stay on the forefront of what's actually real and what's not, reading as many comments and responding to as many comments as I can because it's important to me. I read as many of your guys' comments as I can. When I was smaller, I was able to respond to every single one, and I was so proud of that until I started hitting 100,000, and then it was like, whoa, bro, like I can't do it anymore. But it takes a toll, and I love you guys. Please have grace for me if I miss things. Please have grace for me if I don't always get everything right. I do the best I can. I admit when I'm wrong. I'm just a normal dude. Just like all of you. I'm no more important. I'm no more. I just devote a lot of time to trying to bring you guys the best information possible. And, you know, sometimes my takes are bad too. And I come out and I admit it. And I love you guys. Thank you for being concerned. Disco Pogo, rest in peace, Jax's father, family member. I love you so much, dude. I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you for being a part of our community. And thank you for your support. Oilers PF. Hey, JD, my last super chat didn't send, so I'll try again. I'm 17 from Canada, and your content has helped me for a while. Love you, man. Stay safe. I love hearing that. Nothing makes me happier than hearing that. I love you. Dick said, love you, JD, and I love this community. Y'all give me hope and humanity when the world seems lost. I'm so glad that you're here. Bug versus windshield. 3 arrows pointing down is a symbol of the 3 arrows Antifa group It is from OG Antifa in Germany primarily. In USA now, Google 3 Arrows Antifa. Thank you. I'm going to be Googling that. It's Sheffier. Thanks for holding this space. Lost my uncle in 9/11. God, I'm so sorry. And between the anniversary of Charlie, I've lost my hope. People like you will help me find it again. Big love. The last thing Charlie would want any of us to do is lose our hope or our faith or to let them silence us. Wax Raptor. My question is, where do we go from here if this is what talking comes to now? Appreciate all you do, JD. Much love. We stand up taller, we stand up stronger, and we refuse to be silenced. By silencing one, they have created so many others that will be speaking out, and we need to take that torch. Charlie Kirk's life was sacrificed for our First Amendment right, and we cannot back down. We cannot dishonor his memory like that. Gabriel G said, I had the honor of meeting him at a veterans event a while back, and he truly made a big impact on my life. May he rest in peace. And how amazing that that was the stuff that he did that fed his soul, to embrace our veterans, to give everybody a platform. I want to take a quick moment of silence for Charlie and for his family before we jump off here, you guys. May his family find peace. May our country find healing. May all of us find our voice and use it in a way that honors Charlie, that honors God, that honors our nation, and that pushes us in a better direction so that we can fight evil and stand for what's right and refuse to ever be silenced. We can't let them win. Jeff said, have you seen the Charles McDonald song for Charlie? Jeff, I have. And it's one of his pieces that I actually found to be pretty decent. All right, you guys, on that, I'm going to go get some breakfast. I still haven't eaten. I love each and every one of you. Till the next one love, baby. Be good or be